You guys want to talk about some crazy shit? This is $100 worth of groceries. $100 even. That's before taxes. $100 right here.
The cost of living crisis in the UK has just taken a nasty turn. The average household energy bill is going up 80% this winter to nearly £300 a month. And it's not going to end there, according to the experts, unless new supplies of energy are suddenly found.
What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre. It actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive. Like they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because you literally can't afford it. Like actually, what kind of life is that? Like what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Are you fucking serious? I just went to a cafe this morning in Melbourne, Australia, and I paid $45 for 2 eggs on toast and avocado on the side. And earlier this year, I was in Bali and it was like $10 to $15 for the same thing. Like, how are you even meant to live right now with the rising cost of living and inflation in Australia and work a normal job where you're earning $40,000 to $100,000 a year? Like, money just isn't the same anymore. $40,000 to $100,000 a year on a salary or working on an hourly rate, it just isn't the same as what it was 5 years ago. The inflation is crazy right now and things are just way more expensive than what they should be. It's just like ridiculous. I know there's so many people living paycheck to paycheck. They got smashed by the pandemic. So many people unemployed because they didn't want to take the jab. And just people that are barely have any money right now, more than whatever I've seen before. It's just ridiculous. Things shouldn't cost this much money.
These grocery prices in rural Washington.
So now Trump is telling the American people that the grocery prices have come way down. Have they? And if they have, where do you live? Because we live in Charlotte and they have not come down at all. If anything, they've gone up. So...
Trump moments ago claiming America's inflation problem is over.
We're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country.
Only, as you're about to see, that nightmare is far from over, because today, Team Trump was laughing when pressed on whether they're making progress on trade deals with countries around the world. Here's the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick.
We have every country in the world, just like Donald Trump has said, who wants to do a deal with us. Now, here's the point. I have a deal. Done. But I need to wait for their prime minister and their parliament to give its approval, which I expect shortly. I'm not going to tell you what country.
I'm not going to tell you what country. I mean, it felt very flippant right? As if this were a game. But of course, this is incredibly serious business. The effects of Trump's trade war are already being felt. You know, we got this report today from longtime retail price expert Dana Telsey. Carl Quintanilla at CNBC had posted a clip of it, so we went and got it from Dana because it's amazing what it goes through with the prices. Dana is in the business of tracking prices, and here's what she's already seeing happening. If you just look at these prices, these are week-on-week prices as she was looking. Barbie up 42.9% if you were to buy a Barbie doll. A DKNY puffer, these are just the items that she's tracking week in and week out. So DKNY puffer, 37% increase. And a drill kit, you know, one of those ones where you can put all of your drill equipment and screwdrivers and stuff on the side from Tractor Supply, up 3.8%. So prices are rising. Now sporadically, some things not at all, and some things, as you can see, a whole lot. And today we are learning that Trump was not okay with the ideas that Americans might find out just how much more they're paying, where the tariffs are impacting them. So this morning there was a report. It came out, said Amazon is going to show the price of an item, and then next to it they're going to break out the tariff so that a consumer would understand exactly where a tariff is hitting, exactly why a price is going up and by how much. So Trump finds out about it, and then here's what happens. So first, his press secretary goes out and calls it a hostile act.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon.
So Amazon being transparent with consumers about tariffs is hostile and political. That's how it started. Just to be clear, transparency is hostile and political. So then what did Jeff Bezos do? Well, Amazon retreated, and really quickly. In a statement the company wrote, the team that runs our ultra-low-cost Amazon Hall store considered the idea of listing import charges on certain products. This was never approved and is not going to happen. They didn't even want to use the word tariff, they're import charges. Well, maybe it's not going to happen because Bezos got a call from Trump, who, according to sources, was so angry that he did call Bezos directly.
Great. Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly. And he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
He did the right thing. It is worth saying again what the right thing is in Trump's view of this. The right thing was to prevent consumers from seeing the cost of tariffs on items they are buying on Amazon. The right thing to do was to hide the tariffs.
Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses. So yeah, I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
If you are unemployed, I just heard the best job search tip that I've probably ever heard in all 3 of my layoffs in all the years that I've been dealing with this. Okay, so we were just on my Slack community call, and there was a former HR professional recruiter on there. She's currently laid off looking for work. And someone else on the call asked the question of, how do you know, how to structure your day? Like, we have all this time, it's hard to prioritize. It's hard to figure out when you are doing meaningful work, when you're spinning your wheels, and then also how to prioritize yourself and your mental health, etc. So we go through like our conversation, and people are sharing what they do and how they approach the job search and how they make sure that when they're actually focused on it, the work that they're doing is meaningful, etc. So this woman, who is a former HR professional / recruiter, she said that when she was working, okay, Monday morning she'd post the job, and she would just let applications come in all day, pretty much through Tuesday morning, and she'd see how many people applied. Tuesday was the day that she would go through all the applications. And she's like, that was the day. And she told us she didn't use ATS. There were certain questions that like would knock out a candidate. So if there was like a specific thing they were looking for and you didn't have it, you were turned away. Like if it was, you know, something with a specific role, education, whatever credential qualification. So those people get knocked out, but she would personally go through all the resumes. So that was Tuesday. She said Wednesday and Thursday, she's making phone calls to the qualified candidates to set up interviews for the following week. And then Friday, if she didn't feel like she got qualified candidates or if not enough people applied, she would repost the job. So she said the way she approaches her search now on the other side is Monday, she like power applies to jobs. Like she's applying to every job, she's applying to things through Tuesday morning. Knowing and understanding that on the other side of the table, Tuesday is the day people are probably reviewing the applications. And then she said on Wednesday and Thursday, she doesn't apply for jobs because she's like, that's the day that they're making the calls for the following week. So they're not looking at anything. They're just looking at the people that have already applied. So sure, you can apply on those days, but it might not go anywhere. You might as well wait till next Monday or Friday when they repost the job. If they repost the job, it's because they haven't gotten any qualified candidates and they're hoping that if they repost the job on Friday, they'll get the people on Saturday and Sunday that maybe already are employed and like are looking, but they don't have the time to do it during the week. This was genius. So she essentially said Monday, she power applies through Tuesday morning. Tuesday, she kind of slows down. Wednesday, Thursday, she gets to take a break from that and does other things. That's when, you know, she gets some other stuff done. Maybe she works on things. Maybe she has a side hustle, whatever. And then Friday is when she reviews any repost. She also shared that she knows that Indeed pushes jobs to the top that are reposted on Mondays. I have not heard such tangible advice in the 3 layoffs, in the 3 years that I've been going through this, where it's like, yeah, this is how you should structure your day based on my experience on the other side of the table. So if you're a hiring manager, recruiter, person in charge, you know I'm going to ask you, is this how you structure your week? Because if this is how you're all doing it, we just cracked some code of like scheduling and managing our own calendar. And I think when you can manage your own calendar and your time and you feel like you're doing real work and you're productive, your mental health just goes up. And then us unemployed little angels are going to feel so much better about the way that we're living our life right now. So help me, but this is genius, right?
If you guys thought that the job market was cooked before, just realize that in the last 100 days, 300,000 Americans have lost their jobs. That is larger than the population of Pittsburgh. Now imagine the entire population of Pittsburgh looking for work simultaneously. UPS, Intel, Amazon, the federal government have announced massive layoffs across the board. Like I said, it's not just the private sector. One of the biggest things affecting this is 121,000 federal employees losing their job over the last 100 days. And because of the tariffs, they're saying that over the next few months, literally millions of workers could be losing their jobs. That's truck drivers, port workers, warehouse workers, import-export agents. And for anybody who has been looking for a job over the last couple of years, they will tell you that it is incredibly difficult right now to find any sort of meaningful work, especially in the field in which you studied. But it is only going to get more difficult because as millions, potentially millions of newly unemployed Americans hit the job market at the same time as AI is replacing people, it is going to be almost impossible. And let me tell you, one of the biggest factors is going to be those 121,000 and climbing federal employees who have been laid off because they are typically highly trained, highly skilled, highly educated. They've got like PhDs, they've got master's degrees. These people, and they're not going to just be looking in their field, guys. Let me tell you, in 2009, when the financial collapse hit, people switched jobs all over they switched careers like crazy. Dude, I was working in a restaurant and there were people with master's degrees coming in to serve tables. People will become real estate agents. People will become teachers. Anything that they can do to survive. So if you think that your job is going to be okay, you're going to be just fine, let me tell you right now, it is going to get incredibly competitive. And if you've already been having a hard time finding work, it's going to be almost impossible. Everybody needs to start working on their networking again and working on their side hustles. So networking is going to be one of the big things. Start reconnecting with people that you knew from high school, people that you knew from previous jobs. Start, chatting with them again, because when time comes, that is going to be one of the biggest things. If there are jobs out there, knowing somebody in the business, knowing somebody that can recommend you is going to be invaluable. So make sure you guys are networking like crazy. And then your side hustles. If you work in an office or something, go start picking up shifts at a restaurant. If you've never served tables before, learn, because it is one of those things that you can fall back on if you absolutely need to. You need to have something where if you cannot find a job for months, you're able to somehow support yourself. Whether that be DoorDash, go start DoorDashing, go start doing Spark Driver on the weekends, because I'm telling you, the layoffs are coming. The economy is about to crash. And if I lived through the 2009 recession, I know that working your side hustles, whether it be 2, 3, 4 of them, is going to be incredibly important. And again, nothing beats networking. For young people, honestly, consider moving back in with your parents. Start moving in with roommates. Start doing anything you can to survive. Dude, there's people that are going to start moving into storage units. I promise you that. We're going to start seeing an epidemic of people moving into storage units because it's just going to get that bad. But realistically, move back in with your parents. Start saving money. The worst is coming, guys. I want everybody to realize that, and everybody needs to start preparing for it.
I got a random meeting on my calendar. I feel like, and there's a bunch of them on this other lady's calendar. I hope I'm not getting fired. I will die. Someone else is in there. I'm getting fired. Oh my God, I'm getting fired. Hello.
Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I asked, who I think you know, to join us for this call. She is our HR representative. We've got some updates we'd like to share with you this morning.
Okay.
So as you know, we have been working with to help us identify the best way forward for this last period of time. And while we originally believed that we would be integrating with, we've instead determined that it was best for us to refocus the agency to an independent agency. And in doing so, we've initiated a buyback of it. Unfortunately, as you may know, the lack of growth and the decline in our client revenue has negatively impacted our business beyond what we can sustain. And it's forced us to make what are very difficult decisions to eliminate roles within the agency. And this includes the elimination of your role, making today your last day. Please know that it was a very difficult decision. You made meaningful contributions to the last couple of years, and we have the utmost respect and gratitude for what you've done and what you've given. At this point, what I will do is I'll turn it over to you so she can take you through some of the next steps.
Email meeting up shortly. And, once you get the chance to review and look everything over, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer any and all questions you may have.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather. I wish you the best.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Bye.